Hi everyone, I'm Victoria Miles. This is my daughter Daphne, and she's going to ask me the questions that you wrote down to ask me. So it's nice to meet you, and thank you for your interest in Mimi Power. Daphne, take it away.
From Amelia and her grandmother Jane. I liked your book a lot because it's exactly like my life. I have a whiny sister too, and I like art. Did the book come from a real life experience? Do you have siblings? If you do, can you explain their personalities?
So the book came from a lot of real life experiences. The gummy bear scene really happened. The cake bingo scene kind of happened. Losing Bunny Jim is like losing Teddy in our house, and some of that happened, although Teddy never got strapped to the back of a garbage truck, and we did find Teddy again. So there are lots of things in Mimi Power that come from real life experiences. I have a brother and a sister, but mostly I studied my daughters, Emily and Daphne, for ideas for the story.
Okay. From Jasmine and her father Nigel. Why is the chapter on Weeby going to the dentist so short?
Okay, so I'll answer these questions one at a time because you had lots of questions. The chapter is chapter 15, and it's only one sentence long, and that I wrote that on purpose because you know how when you're doing your reading practice for school you have to read a chapter every night? Well, I decided to give all you kids a break, and I would give you a one sentence chapter, and you could come downstairs after you'd read it and you could say, I did my chapter, and you'd get a break. And I love speedy little tricks like that. I think that chapter 15 is a lot of kids' favorite chapter. I don't know why I wasted so much time on all the other words.
Why is her sister so picky?
Well, if we knew the answer to that, we'd probably be squillionaires, because we'd be the people that could get every kid in the world to eat spinach. I don't know, every baby comes with something, and some kids are very particular, and Wavy's one of those very particular kids. She knows just what she likes and what she doesn't like.
Why did you get the idea for all the funny cakes?
Oh, well, when Daphne and Emily were smaller, their schools would host cake bingo fundraisers, and you'd go to the cake bingo at night at the school in the gymnasium, and you'd bring a cake that you baked, and you'd put it on this long table of cakes, and there'd be all these other cakes there. There'd be cupcakes, there'd be cakes from the supermarket, there'd be triple layer cakes that mums had baked. Some of the cakes were fancy, and some of the cakes were kind of plain. And I had never heard of cake bingo before, and I thought it was the neatest thing. But when I took my cakes, I wanted my cakes to be the first cake that anybody took, that anybody walked away from, because I like baking cakes. So I got the idea that I would make a chapter in the book all about cake bingo, and I would imagine the craziest cakes that I could, and it was almost like a competition between the mums and the dads baking the cakes to see how crazy they could go. So it's a very exaggerated, crazy kind of cake bingo.
What is your favorite Halloween costume?
Oh, when I was a little kid, my mom one year dressed me up as Aunt Jemima. Do you know who Aunt Jemima is? She's the lady on the syrup bottle. So you can check in the grocery store next time if there's Aunt Jemima syrup. You can take a look. And she she's on the package. So when I was little, I had a chubby round face and chubby cheeks, and Aunt Jemima's kind of chubby, and my mom put on dark makeup and wrapped my hair in a kerchief and gave me a skirt and a blouse to wear, and it was an easy costume, and I was Aunt Jemima, and it was lots of fun. That was my favorite Halloween costume.
Where did you get the idea of the swimming teacher calling her Mimi Powers instead of just Mimi?
Guy's the name of the swimming teacher, and he really loves Mimi's name. He understands that her name describes her power and her inner strength, and he believes that she really can do anything that she sets her mind to. But somehow she hasn't learned how to float. But Guy knows if she just taps into her Mimi power that she'll get it. So he likes to remind her by calling her her whole name, that what she's capable of. She's not just Mimi, she's Mimi power. Okay.
Why is Grandpa such a tease at the swimming pool?
He is a tease at the swimming pool. Grandpa is full of beans, and Grandpa was just really fun to write. He was sort of jokey. He's very light-hearted. He's happy to be at the pool even if he can't swim. So Grandpa, I just had so much fun writing him, and that's why even if he's teasing at the pool, it's all in good fun.
Why did you decide to go back in time when Lily June was born at the start of the book?
Oh, I had to go back to the beginning because Lily June gets her name very early in the story. And Waby is a very unusual nickname. Maybe it isn't, I don't know. But for us and our friends, nobody else calls their baby Waby. So I needed to go back to the beginning to show you how she got her name, but the fun really gets going when she's a toddler and she's starting to be able to speak. So and she's getting into everything, and she's messing up with Mimi's painting and that kind of stuff. So most of the story takes place when she was about 3, but I needed to go back to the beginning to give her her nickname.
Did you have any nicknames growing up?
In high school, my friends called me Vic. They still do when they see me. I can't really think of anything else that comes to mind. It was a long time ago.
From Ella and her mother, Patricia. I thought it was a very easy read. I read it in one night. Is it easy to write an easy reader?
That is a really good question. And the funny thing is, it's every bit as hard as any other kind of book. Mimi took me about a year to write, and another year to go back and forth with edits to make it better. So it is an easy read, and it's meant to be an easy read, and you're meant to just zip and fly along with it, and you're meant to get to chapter 15 and read that in a flash and all of that, because humor is fast and it's funny, and it's supposed to feel like that, but to write it is very slow because you have to get every word right. You have to get every thought has to be important that you share, and that takes a long time. And when I was writing it, I didn't have very much time in the rest of my life to work on it, so it took about a year and a lot of thinking.
Why did you decide the main character to be a girl?
Well, because I'm the mom of 2 girls and I don't have boys, I wasn't sure I could imagine a boy in the same way. But sometimes characters kind of choose themselves. You're not always thinking, is it a boy, is it a girl? They just are that way. And then you write it around them. So if Mimi had, in my mind, popped in and she were a little boy named Max, then I would have just made her Max. Because they just decide who they they are before you've even begun.
Why didn't you make a naughty baby brother instead?
Oh, well, I could have, because then I would have had a boy and a girl, right? But the truth is that there really is a real life Waby who inspired the story, and she is all girl. So I stuck to that. And sometimes the two sisters idea is a part of what makes it original. I was inspired by Judy Blume's Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, and we all know that's a story of two brothers, Peter Hatcher and his little brother Fudge. And I reread it again when I was older, and I thought, couldn't there be a story like this about two sisters? So that was one of the things that I wanted to do with it, make it about two sisters.
From Corey and her mother Patricia. Was it easy to write about little kids when you have little kids?
It's easier in some ways because you have them right there in front of you throwing tantrums about gummy bear vitamins and bringing home the invitation to the school cake bingo and all of that stuff. All that life is happening right before your eyes. So in that way it's easier. But what's harder when you have little kids is finding the time and the energy to write. So what I'd do is I'd stick the girls in the bathtub, and while they were in the bath I would write a page, and they would call out, they'd play a little while in the tub, and then they'd start calling out, when can we get out? When can we get out? And I would say, not till Mommy's finished this page. And that's how I got it done. And I got some very clean girls that year as well. It was good. A lot of baths. A lot of baths. Okay.
Okay. Will you write about grown up Waby?
Well, I don't know yet because she remains to be seen, remember? But I did write a sequel to Mimi. It's not a book, it's just going to be a story that you can find online, and you can get it this Christmas. And you guys are some of the first to know about it. So it's my gift to everybody that liked Mimi Power and has asked me for a sequel, because that is really the nicest thing that you could say to an author. So I wrote a Christmas story about the sisters and their mom and dad, and a special trip that they make to the mall at Christmas time. And you'll be able to find it on my blog. I'm the Victoria Miles on Blogspot, and I think my blog is called Magnifico. And I'm sure Christiane will tell you about it when it comes out too. And I hope you'll enjoy it. That's my gift to all of you. Bye, everybody. Want to say bye?
Bye.
Okay.